Good afternoon. We're going to present the project of Physics Nowadays, and the team members are Andrea Cruzcos, Raúl Fuentes, Katy Verdeal, and me, Ana Cristina Trevino. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Albert Einstein. Why this quote? Because it is related to science, to all its branches, including physics, biology, chemistry, etc. Physics nowadays may seem difficult, but actually, scientists along history have made the understandings easier for the people. Thankfulness to several experiments they developed and their findings, physics have reached the point where it has explained the most basic, thus allowing more specific questions and subdivisions of physics to arise. This is the focus of the project, explaining and describing 3 experiments that have led to discoveries that keep being present nowadays, composing modern physics and colloquial inventions used by society, such as the TV, the Foucault's pendulum, and Rutherford's atomic model. These experiments of the television allow the present images in color. The Foucault's pendulum helped for the compass rose, and the atomic model contribute to the discovery of proton and nucleus.
Nowadays, with the circumstances we are living, physics, scientists, doctors, and others are studying this famous virus known as coronavirus. Even though this virus is being a central problem, physicists had previous theoretical concerns, like the nature of reality and why it's not possible to travel faster than light and many others. We choose these three experiments because thanks to them, we are able to see, use, and create new materials: the cathode ray, atomic model, and Foucault pendulum.
The explanation of the phenomena. The explanation of phenomena behind the atomic model, the gold foil experiment. Rutherford and his mates tried to explain how those atoms behave in certain ways. So he and his mates did an experiment about an alpha particle hitting a gold foil to observe how atoms differ. So they discovered that there is an empty space between atoms and there are electrons, protons, and also a nucleus in them. The explanation of the phenomena behind Foucault's pendulum, the Coriolis effect. This Foucault pendulum is similar for the movement of the Earth's rotation. The Earth's rotation with this movement of Foucault's pendulum is called Coriolis effect, in which the Earth's rotation is different in different parts of the world, like the North Pole or the South Pole. The explanation of phenomena behind a TV, the cathode ray tube. There is a device inside TVs that is named cathode ray tube, that there are electrons shooted into a phosphorus screen, and this reaction of phosphorus screen makes a glow that shoots an image into the TV.
The equations used in each experiment. This is the one for the cathode ray tube. This is the one for the Rutherford's nucleus discovery. And finally, the equation for the Foucault's pendulum.
Theoretical findings due to the results of the experiments. First is the cathode ray tube, that the experiment led to the discovery of electrons and that this ray tube could display colored images. The Rutherford's nucleus discovery. At the Rutherford discovery, new scientists saw the atom as a non-ultimate subatomic particle. They saw that it was made of 4 smaller subatomic particles. They discovered later the electron and even later the neutron. With this, they discovered how to make X-rays. In 1879, the scientist Kamerlingh Onnes made a thesis about the Foucault's pendulum. It was advised by his former teacher, Gustav Kirchhoff, and they made a very important representation of how the pendulum should work. The technological applications of the findings to the results of the experiment. First, on the cathode ray tube, the television in color was invented. Also the oscilloscope, who was also used for made the arcade games. With the Rutherford nucleus discovery, they discovered that electrons could travel through bodies, and they could help to make the X-rays. And the Foucault pendulum helped Einstein to make the theory of relativity, help satellites to ubicate outside of Earth in space, and made the gyroscope.
The development and description of our prototype. This is our prototype. We decided to do the prototype of the Rutherford atomic model because it seems easy enough to make at home, using homemade materials. So it is not possible to leave our homes in the situation we are living nowadays with the pandemic. The materials were wire for the circular orbits, and also beads, different color beads, 3 colors for the protons, ones for the neutrons, and another ones for the electrons. And also hot glue to unite everything and paste it. And first we did the circular orbits, then we inserted some beads, the white beads. Then we add a styrofoam ball in the middle, to which we pasted all the beams. And this model is also known as planetary system because electrons orbit around the nucleus, just like planets do toward the sun. The atom shape is not solid because Rutherford discovered there should be empty space between the electrons and the nucleus, and protons, positive charged particles, so the atom will be strong enough to pass through things, such as the foils in the gold foil experiment, leading to the discovery for the nucleus and protons. In conclusion, when researching, it was observed and learned how everything is related, how one small discovery leads to another, and so on. For example, how the X-rays related to medicine led to the discovery of the nucleus and protons related to physics. This point seems personally seems the best and the most interesting because many times people don't take some time to appreciate what it is in their surroundings. They don't focus on history and processes that are behind everything we know.